When I was but a child, I used to watch Captain Planet. It was very popular here in Romania, especially because having just left the Iron Curtain, we never had comic books. We didn't know what the Superman is. And Captain Planet was like one of the first things that were allowed to be shown onto our television. And looking back, and especially now that I watched a couple of episodes from Captain Planet, man, it was very subversive. The message was kind of clear, right? Like capitalism bad. They would never have anything happening in the Soviet Union or in the USSR. Most of the villains were also capitalists, and they kind of toned it down, like compared to what they would do today. They toned it down a lot. Like for example, one of the controversies they had is that the villains shouldn't look like humans. So this is why they have this capitalist person that looks like a pig. Why they have someone else that looks like a rat. It was because they didn't want kids to associate their parents as being evil. And recently I saw a commentary from woke influencers saying that, well, that was the whole point. Like, it should have seen their parents as being evil. Okay, now we don't have Captain Planet, but like back then, I really liked the show, and I guess I was somewhat subjected to its propaganda, but in a good way. I mean, I would always make sure that I don't litter when I was outside. I was always making sure that the light is turned off when I don't use it. Like that show literally convinced me to try and save the planet by doing small things, but like doing them myself, you know? Nowadays, environmentalism is different. It's not about talking with the rest of your friends at school to go plant a tree or to pick up the garbage from someplace. No, now it's about lecturing others while doing nothing yourself. And here you have a Gen Z festival which takes place in England. And there's a lot of young people that are going there. And some of the biggest supporters of green policies are young people. And look what they did. Right? Like these individuals, they go and demand that we stop driving cars, that we give up all of the rights that they need us to give up in order to save the planet. And they can't even do like the small minimal thing, which is to pick up the garbage after you party someplace else. And this isn't the first festival that I've seen this happen. Like it's happening almost every time, right? And especially like these festivals are usually formed based on an idea, like the bands that sing there or the people that go there and they introduce themselves, the speakers, and they are left-leaning individuals. Like if you ask any of them, yeah, absolutely, like we want to save the planet and blah blah blah. And yet here you have it. It's still going to be the working class guy that has to come up after them in order to pick up their trash. And I'm thinking like, how many times did you not hear or see a Greta Thunberg-like person, you know, like a very young individual that goes around and they talk about how we need to do better for the planet, we need to abolish zero carbon emissions and whatnot. And then you look at their lifestyle. They usually have a Uber that takes them to university or to their job. They all have like smartphones in their hand. They have computers at home. They have air conditioning. They have all of these luxuries. And the question is like, how many of them would they genuinely be willing to renounce? Because I'm thinking it's kind of like an ideology where you get to lecture other people and maybe like do some sort of performative gestures, like maybe buy a soy latte or use a paper straw or something like that. But you don't really want change in your life, do you? Like you don't really want to live in a place without an air conditioning. You don't really want to live in a place without your computer. And by the way, like when we talk about computers and smartphones, I do understand that phones are important, but it doesn't have to be a smartphone. Like you can use one of those old phones that have less technology in them so that you can save the planet. Especially when it comes to computers. Like a gaming computer consumes a lot more electricity. It is a lot more wasteful than just a simple computer that is required for you to have Microsoft Word and an Excel sheet installed. In fact, I would even say that most computers, you can still use them to play video games, but there is no reason why you need a GTX 490 Ti. And all of these computers, they consume a lot of energy. I mean, you can go to someone that has like one of these modern graphics cards, like a 380 Ti. The moment he starts his computer and he plays a game, even on medium settings, it's going to make the entire room feel warm. It's going to make the entire room hot. So it's funny that you also see like all these video gaming websites and all of these gaming corporations like advocating for like, oh, well, we need green policies and we need to lower carbon emissions, when their target audience are gamers that require high carbon emissions in order for them to play those video games. And it's interesting because like no company advocates. It's like, hey, like in order to fight global warming, well, maybe you need to stop having such powerful computers. Maybe you need to not have a gaming PC. Which, by the way, given how female characters look like in modern gaming, I do wonder why on earth would anyone want a gaming PC. But anyway, right, so this is my question. Why are so many young people and so many environmentalists demanding stuff from other people, which are very hard to accomplish, when they themselves can't accomplish even the bare minimum? But this is my question. Maybe any of you can answer it, and if you can, let me know what you think in the comment section. Take care.